This week's episode of the Curious Podcasts is brought to you by you, our valued listeners. If there are any topics you would like to hear us talk about, you can submit your suggestions at curious.podcasts@gmail.com. Also, if you want to show us some love and support, why not pop over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/thecuriouspodcasts. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Curious Podcasts with me, Dr. Jusfa, and this fucking fat bastard, Richy Lawless.
Less than a bastard, eh?
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right, that's me, I'm the bastard.
No, I am as well.
See, there you go, two fat bastards. That's what we should have called ourselves instead of the Curious Podcasts, two fat bastards. Didn't somebody suggest that name at one point?
Yeah, you.
Oh, there you go then. There you go. So how's your week been?
Stressful, actually. Been trying to organise something, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet.
Oh, fair.
But
you trying to organise something? That is the first.
So quiz mine had to be cancelled this week because it took a lot of organising. It was still got Richie's corner though.
That's good. That's good.
And whatever you've got planned.
Well, me, I've got a couple of little, really short stories to tell, and I do mean little and short, you know.
Like your Willie.
What Willie? But, yeah, I realised a few minutes ago that I accidentally created a theme with them, but that'll come apparent when I tell you the stories. But I've also got planned for us to have a discussion. There's a first. Okay then, so, shall we crack on?
Yeah. I'm just thinking it would be better if people could see my head nods, but it must just sound like I'm ignoring you all the time. But
I'll probably see more than half.
I'm nodding my head most of the time, in a daydream.
In a daydream, so not even outwardly where I can see it.
Right.
Anyway. Come on.
Well, open it then.
I'm trying.
We'll get the key.
I am using the key.
Got the one. Yeah.
There we go. So, Drew's Curiosity Corridor Scratching Post, or whatever the fuck I'm calling it. You know what, I'm going to have to come up with an actual definitive name.
Still smells like piss.
And is it not? It's probably you that's been pissing in the corridor as well.
I'm not denying it.
Right outside the doors, I'm trying to open it. Anyway. So, the first story is exceedingly short. So, in 1999, skydiver Joan Murray jumped out of the plane and her parachute malfunctioned, causing her to fall 14,500 feet with no parachute, essentially.
Oh God, that must have hurt.
A backup parachute did open at 700 feet, but it very quickly deflated and she continued to plummet towards the ground at 80 miles per hour. So she's going to hit the ground with a hell of a thud. She survived.
Wow.
Because she fell into a mound of fire ants.
Fucking hell.
The doctors believe that that it was the intense shock of being stung over 200 times by the ants caused a surge of adrenaline to be released, and that's what kept her heart beating.
That's amazing.
I know, isn't it just? So
Well, how unlucky is that? That's like falling out of a building and it were an open back truck of mouse traps or something. Or
well, it's funny you should mention about jumping out of a building because that actually goes into the next story. But yeah, but you're right. Jumping it from 14,500 feet, parachute fails, backup opens at 700 feet, that fails, you hit the ground at 80 miles per hour, travelling at 700 feet, only to land into a mound of fire ants, get stung over 200 times, and survive purely off adrenaline. You see it all the time in movies, don't you? Okay, so the second story. Now, this was... This is a tale, a true story, that was told at, well, you know how there's like award ceremonies for like movies and music and TV shows and all that jazz? Well, forensics have one as well. So it was at this forensics award ceremony. Now, I'm not going to be saying any names during this, or any names I do say I've made up on the spot because I can't actually remember the names from the original event. So, we'll just say Hubert Einstein. He's the guy, he's the forensics guy. So Hubert Einstein, he's at this forensics award ceremony, and he's telling the tale of a case that he worked on. So, excuse me. So we've got this guy, say we'll call him Tom, or Thomas. So Thomas has jumped off the top of a hotel building with the intent of killing himself.
Right.
I don't remember how tall the building was, but as he was falling past, I think it was the 12th floor, he gets hit with a shotgun blast.
Right.
Yeah. So apparently, what happened as Thomas was falling down, jumped and was falling down on the 8th floor, in the exact room he happened to be passing, was, you know, say like middle-aged-ish married couple staying in the hotel.
Yeah.
And the husband had been threatening his wife with a shotgun.
Isn't Ben and Barbara, was it?
It would be funny if it was. So he pulls the trigger, and the shot completely misses his wife, goes out the window, and hits Thomas as he's falling down.
Is this a real story?
This is a true story, right? And Thomas gets killed. So you're thinking, okay, a suicide that turned to murder, right? Oh, by the way, that's the whole thing about this. Was it murder or was it suicide? Yeah.
Suicide? He was going to die anyway.
But it turns out that the hotel, for the safety of like workers, like window washers and what have you up high, they'd actually erected a safety net around the 7th or 8th floor. So even if he hadn't have been shot with a shotgun, he would have survived because the safety net would have caught him. So the suicide would never have worked.
Fuck, hell.
Now, here's where it's really going to get interesting. The married couple, let's call them Mr. and Mrs. Jones, right? So, Mr. Jones didn't know the shotgun was loaded. It turned out what happened is that their son, Jones Jr., he was aware that his mother and father would get into arguments quite often. And during these arguments, his dad had this thing about threatening his mum with a shotgun, but the shotgun was never loaded. Never. But he thought always threaten her with it. It was their thing, you know, it was the thing. And Mrs. Jones had cut Jones Jr. off financially. I can't remember what it was that Jones Jr. had done, but she was sick of his bullshit, so she cut off his allowance. So he was going to have to go out and get a job and earn money himself, blah, blah, blah. So his thinking was, well, I know that my mum and dad get into arguments quite often, and every time my dad threatens my mum with the shotgun, which is always empty, but he does usually pull the trigger. So he loaded the shotgun with the intent that his dad would kill his mum, and then he would get his inheritance. from his mum's death.
Wow.
So that was the idea. And the shotgun had been loaded like a few weeks beforehand, so it'd been a bit of time, you know. And are you ready for the plot twist?
Go on then.
So Thomas, who jumped from the building, was in actual fact Thomas Jones.
Fucking hell, man.
He'd gotten that down and fed up and distraught because he'd been cut off financially, and his mum and dad hadn't gotten into an argument for
That's still suicide.
for weeks.
Yeah.
So he jumps off the building because he's that depressed and gets shot
By the gun he loaded.
by the gun he loaded with the ammunition he had intended to kill his mother, and gets killed by that instead. And yes, the forensic coroner ruled it a suicide.
That's fucking mental, lad. See, I should be a detective, really.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, that's
I'm wasted on this podcast.
yes. Well, let's leave your substance abuse out of it. Speaking of which, that actually fits quite nicely into the topic.
Great, absolutely brilliant. But can you put the fan on, please?
Yes, absolutely. 1, 2, or 3.
Surprises.
We'll go with
Press
2 for
two,
now.
didn't you? Aye.
You are. How the fuck did you? Never mind. Okay. So, the topic of discussion I want us to have today is about whether or not drugs should be legalized in the UK. Now, straight off the bat, I'm going to say my opinion is legalize the drugs. You know, look at what happened, how the way Holland's been doing things. Look at what started happening in America. You know, legalize drugs, all of them, but have them regulated. You know, and have like licensed grow farms or this, that, and the other. You know, the government will get tax revenue of it. It'll create job opportunities. And if people want to overindulge and hurt themselves, then so be it. Let them get on with it. You know. But the main concern with drugs is that it's funding criminal activity. But if you legalise drugs and it's licensed and regulated, that cuts money away from the criminal underground and funnels the money back to the treasury, which could help with the infrastructure of the country. So there you go. That's why I want to talk about it today.
I think marijuana should be legalised. It grows.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like in this country we really push alcohol, and it has no benefit to the body. In fact, it's completely negative.
Exactly. I mean, alcohol is a toxin. It's a poison.
It's a natural poison.
You know, I mean, it damages the liver. It
makes you do stupid ass things.
You become addicted to it because you're either an alcohol dependent or actually become an alcoholic. So it is classed as a mental illness.
Yeah.
But as is the case with any addiction. You know, because your body and your brain have become addicted to
Tabs. Or
yeah.
Cigarettes for anyone else listening.
Well, specifically nicotine.
Nicotine has no benefit.
Nope.
That's proven to cause cancer. Well, not nicotine, but
no,
smoking causes cancer. There's no doubt about that. Like, I don't think anyone in the history of the world has died of an overdose of cannabis.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, it can kind of mess your life up. But again, so can alcohol. I've seen families split up with alcohol.
And it's not and in that case, but even with the alcohol and any kind of drug, it's not the use of it that causes the problem.
It's the abuse of it.
Yeah, it's the abuse of it. It's how much you're consuming and how often you're consuming.
Yeah.
That's what does the damage, the overindulgence. In smaller doses, you know, it can be safe, but if you overindulge, then yeah, you're gonna have problems.
Just like most things, really.
Yeah.
But
unlike smoking, which is going to cause problems regardless.
Yep.
Because that's putting carbon monoxide into your lungs.
I mean, I agree with the cannabis thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe certain other drugs, but do we really need the likes of cocaine and that?
At one point, cocaine used to be illegal. How do you think Coca-Cola picked its name?
It was a medical thing as well, wasn't it?
Coca-Cola was a stimulant drink. If anything, you could say Coca-Cola was the first energy drink because it was made using cocaine. Then they criminalized it.
Legalized?
They made it illegal. They banned cocaine. So Coca-Cola kept the name, but they had to remove cocaine from the ingredients. And I think that the use of cocaine and weaker forms like speed, I can understand where you're coming from, but like you also just pointed out, it has medicinal properties.
It does in dentists and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's Novocaine, isn't it?
Yeah.
But say it's people who suffer from chronic pain or chronic.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
I just meant as in the powder. You go out, you take cocaine.
Yeah. So they could do it where it's in a different form, because if you're snorting it, you got
the health benefits, maybe.
But it's gonna absolutely wreck your nose.
Yeah.
Your nose will collapse in on itself. I've seen it. But yeah, so things like cocaine, they should bring that back for medicinal purposes.
Okay.
Same with marijuana. In fact, I think marijuana is already medically allowed over here, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they should have it in shops where people can just buy it. You can buy these.
Viagra now as well. That's certain shops.
Thought Viagra was always available in shops and that.
No, you got it off your doctor, but it wasn't available in shops.
Right. Okay. So it used to be prescription only, and now it's not. Okay. What I was going to say is the CBD jellies. That vape shop next to Morrison's. They sell them in there. I think the chemists I get my prescriptions from, I'm pretty sure they sell them as well. It's funny because they really do. They chill you out and calm you down. But if you eat too many of the jellies, it's you're definitely not safe to drive. It's if you have a good handful of them or a couple of handfuls of those jellies, it's probably akin to having a space cake over in Amsterdam.
Nah, fuck that shit.
No, you're chilled out and relaxed enough as it is.
No.
Except for when you're trying to arrange surprises. But yeah, so what do you think? So you think only certain drugs should be legalized?
It's a tough one. If the pros outweigh the cons, then yeah. But there's certain things that aren't good for you that maybe should stay illegal. But I don't really know all that much about drugs, if I'm honest.
But and they say it's things that aren't good for you that should stay illegal. But there's two things we've mentioned already that are not good for us.
And all legal.
Yeah, tobacco, nicotine, and alcohol. Both of which have done more damage and caused more deaths and injuries than any of the illegal substances.
Exactly.
So maybe do a swap around. Ban all nicotine and alcohol and legalise all drugs and see what that does.
Just for 1 week though. Then you've got to go back to normal.
But what is normal? But anyway, if any of our valued listeners have an opinion on this, want to weigh in, send us an email at curious.podcasts@gmail.com, and we might read out what you've said next week.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to talk about before we crack on with Richie's Corner?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Are you scared of heights?
A bit, yeah. I mean, I'm alright on planes, but you know those zip lines known as death slides? Back on that big massive circle on the estate. I remember when they used to have the fair on there in the summer, and they would have a zip line going over it. I rode that zip line once. I thought, I look at them, yeah, I can do that. I've done a roller coaster. Yeah, I was scared, but I can do that. Went up the top, got harnessed up and everything. They clipped us on. I can't do this. I was like 12 or something at the time. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And the guy who was like harnessed in and everything was like, I'm not dealing with this.
Pushed you.
Hand right in my back. I'm like, all the way down. And then when I got them up, I was like, couldn't let go of the handlebars.
Wow, so you were always a knobhead.
Yeah, you know what makes the story even better? My mum was killing herself laughing.
Good.
I deserved it.
Right.
Why'd you ask anyway about if I'm scared of heights?
Because this week's episode is brought to you live from a helicopter.
What?
Cue the fucking music. Okay, so we're live from a helicopter. Drew.
It's a bit loud in here.
Yeah, shut the door. Right, that's better. Okay, so other than the helicopter, Richie's Corner is sponsored by Scotch Pies, and today is National Kissing Day.
Kissing what? The ground?
Well, you might be later.
What?
Right, so we've got an email from Peter. Hi, Peter here. My wife is always lying to me, saying she's going to leave, but when I come home, she's still there. Oh. John's emailed. Hi, I swapped my wife's lip balm with Pritt Stick. Now she won't talk to me.
Nice one, John.
You just get your parachute on.
You sure this is a parachute?
Whatever. Joey. Hello, it's my 99th birthday, and my friends and family think I should go for a checkup. I've never seen the inside of a hospital, which shows how bad my eyesight is. Maybe I should go for the checkup.
Maybe, John.
Yeah, you should actually.
John. What's his name?
Joey.
Joey. Yeah, maybe you should, Joey.
Kimberly.
Oh, this is so high.
Yeah, it's a great view though. So, got an email from Kimberly. So, me and my son were playing peekaboo, and we had an accident. And we've had to put him in ICU.
That's so terrible that I've already told that joke in the last couple of weeks.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Right. When did you learn how to fly a helicopter anyway?
Well, that's what I've been busy doing all week. Right, Sammy, I don't believe you were swing ball champion. You know what it fucking is, right? I am sick of people calling me out on swing ball. I'll challenge anyone who gave me swing ball, right? The last person was Tom Hardy, right? And I whipped his ass in the front street at swing ball. The whole street was out.
I'll challenge you to a game of swing ball.
Anyone.
I'll challenge you to a game of swing ball.
No.
You said anyone?
Anyways, Martin has emailed. I recently went to the doctors because I couldn't stop singing Pussycat. What's it? Oh, sorry, what's new Pussycat? The doctor says I have Tom Jones syndrome. I asked if it was common. He said it's not unusual.
That's awful.
Fred. My girlfriend says she's sick of me pretending to be a detective and suggested that we should split up. which I think is a great idea as we cover more ground. Got me down from Billy Barnes.
Fuck off.
You prick. I know it was you who stole my wallet. I'm going to kill you. Alright, whatever. Barbara. My brother asked if he could stay the night. Long story short, all 14 of my brothers now live with us. So now there's 17 of us in a 2-bedroom house. Oh, and a horse. I haven't had time to ask Ben about his wife. And this letter has to be really short because I'm so busy.
Sounds a bit like an Amish paradise.
Gorgeous Ken. Hi, I cannot believe I went to the gym the other day and forgot to take a selfie. How will people know I've been to the gym and how gorgeous I am?
Because you wrote to us and we told everyone.
Fair enough. Drew, do you want to read one out before you
while I've been staring out the windows, the ground getting further and further away from me, I have received an email, and it's not good, mate. It's not good at all. Margaret Chair's been kidnapped. She's been held for ransom.
Oh no.
I don't know who you guys are, but War Maggie is being kidnapped, so we want money off people who she knows to set her free. We want $5 and a picture of someone's flaccid penis, because I'm getting sick of this old hag now. She keeps swinging her tits around while singing Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh.
Well, sorry mate, we don't deal in dollars, we're British, we deal in pounds sterling, so yeah, tough shit.
And as the president would say, we don't make deals with terrorists. Or something along them lines, or I never had sex with. Anyways. Oh, sorry, got one here. Kevin Watersniff.
Alright.
Can't believe I've missed Richie's corner. Well, you should have wrote in sooner, shouldn't you?
Richie.
Alright.
There's a problem.
No, everything's fine. Okay.
No, there's a problem. The door won't stay shut.
That's fine. You don't need it shut. Right, come here then.
Wait.
Right. This is for the mental health of everyone.
Wait, are you talking about from last week?
3, 2.
No, I thought you were talking.
Hello, welcome back to the show, where things are nice and quiet. Now that Joe's not here, I feel so much better. I think everyone can agree that that was great for everyone's mental health. Just isn't the Joe getting flown out of a helicopter. It's a shame he didn't have a parachute. But anyways.
Oh, thank God for that window. Oh. I told you I didn't think that was a parachute.
Oh, great, you made it.
Yeah, luckily the window broke my fall.
Oh, great. Well, I suppose better the word of the week then.
Okay, well, my word of the week, once I stopped shaking from the absolute terror from falling from... How high up were we anyway when you threw me out?
Can't at all.
Oh, and for anyone interested, he threw me out by tilting the helicopter to the side so that the open door was suddenly the floor, and I, well, essentially fell through the floor. Bastard. Anyway, yeah, my word of the week is xanthic, which just means something has a yellowish hue to it. So it's like, so for instance, we painted the wall brown, but when the paint dried, it had it was quite xanthic.
Oh, when someone smokes.
Yes, like the nicotine stains on your fingers, or tobacco stain, the yellowish brown stain on your fingers from smoking cigarettes. That would be xanthic.
Okay.
So there you go.
Mine is extra strong mints.
You can eat them.
You can.
You can suck them as well.
Shut your hole. Listen, right? Oh, in fact, the way is, I can't be bothered. I'm so tired of fucking living out with fly helicopter. Do you know how much that cost to rent that out?
I don't fucking care. I don't care how much it costs to rent the helicopter. You fucking threw me
And
out
that
of it.
fucking pylon that I hit, that's going to cost a fortune.
Ah, fuck the pylon.
Podcasts.